Children, welcome again to another class of English Grammar for Class 4. Today we will be continuing and learning about the degree of comparison. So in the previous chapter we learned about adjectives and what they mean. So adjectives are words that describe a noun or a pronoun. So let us understand degree of comparison. Degree of comparison is divided into three parts. Or into 3 degrees. The first one is positive, the second is comparative, and the third is, let us understand what a positive degree is. When we talk about one person or thing, we use the positive degree. For example, Sam is a fast runner. So, fast becomes the first degree since we are using or talking about only one person. So we use the positive degree. When we talk about two people or two things, we compare them. More than, less than, these are generally the words used. So what do we use? We use the comparative form of degree. The comparative form of degree is used when we talk about two things as I have explained earlier. So in my example, I am talking about two people. One is Rohan and the other is Sam. So how did I write about them? I wrote Rohan is faster than Sam. In this sentence, I am comparing two people, Rohan and Sam. Sam is fast, but Rohan is faster. Faster than who? Faster than Sam. Let us have a look at the third degree or the superlative degree. So when do we use this degree? We use this degree when we talk about more than two people or more than two things. So what did I write as an example? Sanjay is the fastest of all. Fastest of who? He is faster than Sam and he is faster than Rohan. That means we are comparing more than two people. So how did I use the first degree? I use the first degree when I talk about only one person. Second one, the comparative degree is used when I talk about or compare two people or two things. And I use than, more than or less than to compare. The third degree is used when I compare more than two people or two things. So now we are going to learn about the certain rules that we need to know about while using the positive, comparative and superlative degree. So the first rule is that an adjective that ends in an consonant or Y, what do? We replace the Y with IER in the comparative form and we use IEST instead of the Y in the superlative form. So let us have a look at the examples that I have written over here. The first one is happy. This is the positive form of the adjective. It ends with a Y or a consonant. So what do we do to change it into the comparative form? We remove the Y and we add IER. That makes it happier. So when it comes to the superlative form, what do? We remove the Y and we replace it or write IEST instead of the Y. That makes it happiest. So Ram is happy, Raj is happier than Ram and Mohan is the happiest of all. Let us have a look at the second example. This is the positive form, lovely. It ends with a Y. So to change it into the comparative form, what do? We remove the Y and replace it with IER, which makes it lovelier. So this flower is lovely, the rose is lovelier And the third form or the superlative form is loveliest. So what did we do? We removed Y and we added IEST. So I hope children you have understood the first form or the rule of changing positive to comparative, comparative to superlative when we have or when the word ends with a Y, using IER or IEST to bring the comparative and the superlative degree. Now children, we are going to learn the second rule, and the second rule is that when an adjective ends with a vowel and Y, what do? We add ER for the comparative form or the degree, and we add EST for the superlative degree. So let us have a look at some examples that I have written here. The positive word is grey. So what do? It ends with a Y. So what did we do? And it has a vowel. So we add ER to make it the comparative degree. And to form the superlative degree, we add EST. That means grey, greyer, greyest. The next word is gay. So this has a vowel and it ends with a Y. So what do? To make it the comparative degree, we add ER, which makes it gayer. And the next one is we add EST and it forms a superlative form, that is gayest. So I hope children you have understood how to follow the second rule. That means when the word, the positive word ends with a vowel and Y, we add ER to form the comparative and we add EST to form the superlative without removing or replacing any alphabet. Let us learn and discuss the third rule of forming comparative and superlative forms. So what do? We have to learn and understand the third rule first of all. An adjective that has a consonant. So what is a consonant? We have 26 alphabets, 5 vowels, that is A, E, I, O, U, and we have 21 consonants. So an adjective that has a consonant plus a vowel plus a consonant pattern, that means a word that begins with a consonant, the second alphabet is a vowel, and the third or the last alphabet is a consonant. What do? We double the last consonant. For example, if we have the word big. So what do? It has the first alphabet as a consonant, the second alphabet as a vowel, and the third alphabet as a consonant. So this is the pattern I am talking about. So what do we do to form these words? First of all, we double the last alphabet, that is a consonant, and we add ER to the comparative degree and we add EST to the superlative degree after doubling. That means after adding another consonant of the same kind to the word. So we discussed the word big. It has a consonant, a vowel and a consonant. So according to the rule, what do? We double the last alphabet. That is not a vowel, it is a consonant. So after doubling the last alphabet, we add ER to it and we get the word BIGGER. So this is the comparative form of big. To get the superlative form, again we follow the same pattern: consonant, vowel and consonant. The last consonant again is doubled. So BIG, then the last word is G, so we double it, again we add another G and we add EST to it and we get the word biggest. Likewise, we do the word sad. This is the same pattern which I have discussed over here: consonant, vowel, consonant. So what happens? the last consonant, that is D, it is doubled. And we add ER to form the comparative form. That is SADDER. Sadder. Now to get the superlative form, what do? Again double the last consonant. That is double D. So we get the word SADDEST. So we have the superlative form, that is saddest. I hope you have understood the third rule of forming comparative and superlative when we have the consonant, vowel and consonant pattern. So now let us discuss the fourth rule. An adjective that ends with the following. That means with ed, ing, ful, ous, er or ive. What do we do to these words to form the comparative or the superlative degree? We add more to the form to form the comparative words, and we add most to form the superlative degree. So let me explain this by showing you some examples that I have written. The first one is beautiful. This is the positive form of the adjective. It ends with ful. So I had earlier discussed that words that or adjectives that end with ed, ing, ful, ous, er or ive, we do these or we follow these certain rules. So like beautiful, this ends with ful. To form the comparative, what do? We add more to it. So it becomes more beautiful. To form the superlative, what do? Instead of adding more, we add most. So it becomes most beautiful. Likewise, famous. This ends with ous. So to form the comparative, we write more and it becomes more famous. So Raj is more famous than Anita. Anita is famous, but Raj is more famous. So to form the superlative, what did we do? We added most. So we get the answer. Mohan is the most famous of all. So likewise, third example is charming. This ends with ing. So to form the comparative, what did we do? We added more to it. So it becomes more charming. Susan is more charming than me. To get the superlative form, what did we do? We added most to this and it becomes Rosie is the most charming of all. So I hope children you have understood how to form comparative and superlative when your adjectives end with ed, ing, ful, ous, er or ive. Now we come to the end of this chapter, and the last part that we are going to discuss is that some adjectives do not require the rules that I have explained previously. So what do? We use different words for them to form the comparative and superlative form. So for example, if we have the word good, so Raj is good. But when we want the comparative form of this, we don't write Raj is gooder or Raj is more good. We use the word better. That means Mohan is better than Raj. Likewise, when we go to the superlative form, we do not write goodest. What do? We form a new word, best. Mohan is the best of all. Likewise, we have bad. So for bad, what do? We do not write badder or baddest. We use the word worse. Your writing is worse than mine. Then Mohan's writing is the worst. Much. So we have more and we have most. I have the most awards or rewards. Then I have a little sugar. I have less, or Raj has less sugar than me, and Mohan has the least amount of sugar or the least sugar. Likewise, we have old. So when we form the comparative, we do not say old, older, oldest, or we use the word old, elder and eldest. I hope children, you have understood all the rules explained for the degree of comparison. I hope you learn and revise how to form the comparative and superlative from the positive words given.